Good morning, class 11. In today's session, I'll proceed further with another very important periodic property, that is ionization enthalpy or ionization potential. Enthalpy is a term which is related to energy exchange or energy change. You'll study about this term enthalpy in the chapter thermodynamics. For now, you can remember it as energy. Okay, so what is ionization potential or ionization enthalpy? First of all, write down the definition as written here. It is the minimum amount of energy which is needed to remove. You can see here the minimum amount of energy needed to remove. This is remove the most loosely bound electron from the neutral isolated gaseous atom in its ground state to form a cation. So basically it is the amount of energy required to remove an electron from the isolated gaseous atom, from the valence shell of an isolated gaseous atom. So in order to do this, some energy is needed, and that energy is known as ionization potential. For example, if I consider sodium atom, you know, it has a centrally located nucleus and 3 shells like this, right? In the first shell it has 2 electrons, then the second shell it has 8 electrons, and in the third shell it has 1 electron. The shell which is nearest to the nucleus is known as bound shell, and the electrons which is present in this shell are known as bound electrons. It is very difficult to remove these electrons from the shell number 1, which is nearest to the nucleus, because they are tightly held with the strongest electrostatic force of attraction between the positive nucleus and the negative charge over the electron. Whereas as you move away from this nucleus, you'll find that the force of attraction goes on decreasing. So here the most loosely held electron is this outermost shell present in the outermost electron present in the valence shell. So ionization enthalpy will be first of all considered for this, because when you will try to remove an electron from the sodium metal, the first electron that will be out of this atom will be this valence electron, and the energy that will be required to remove this electron is known as ionization enthalpy or ionization potential. So I hope it is clear. Again I am repeating, the amount of energy required to remove an electron from the outermost shell of an isolated gaseous atom. As you can see here, it results in the formation of cation. This neutral atom has 281 electronic configuration, and the cation will have 28. This has comparatively stable electronic configuration, because this corresponds to the electronic configuration of neon, which is a noble gas. So now coming to another point related to ionization enthalpy, the values of successive ionization enthalpy is very important. So when you will be removing the first electron from the atom, any atom, neutral atom, the energy required will be the least. But when you will try to remove another electron, the amount of energy that will be needed will increase, and similarly the third electron removal will require more energy. So IP1 is least, IP2 is more than IP1, and then IP3 is maximum. This means the energy required to remove the successive electron from an atom. If I consider the example, this is a hypothetical example where metal M, which is in gaseous state, because in the definition it is mentioned isolated gaseous state. When you try to remove an electron from this metal, it will get converted into M+. That is, after removal of one electron, it will acquire one positive charge, and the energy required here is denoted by this IP1. And another electron now that you will be removing will be removed from a cation now. Okay, and then it will acquire M2 plus charge. the IP, the energy needed is denoted by IP2. Similarly, in the third case, it will be known as IP3. The charge on the cation will go on increasing by the removal of each successive electron. Theoretically, any number of electrons can be removed from a gaseous atom. But practically it is not possible to remove more than 3 electrons because the energy needed is too much. It is very high to provide. Okay. So you can write down in continuation, the energy needed is so high that is not easily available, because as I told you, with each successive removal of electron, the energy goes on increasing. So again, trying to explain you why this energy go on increasing. As you can see here, when the first electron is removed from sodium metal, you can see that is removed from this shell, the third shell, which is far away from the nucleus. So obviously the force of attraction is least. So removing this electron will be easy. Okay. And now when you have to remove one electron from the cation to give it another positive charge, that is 2 plus, will be very difficult. Why? Because it has already acquired stability, and in first case the electron is removed from a neutral atom, whereas in the second case the electron has to be removed from a cation. And remember this, children, or you can note it down in your notes, that removing an electron from the neutral atom is comparatively easy than to remove an electron from a positively charged atom. Now why? Because second electron will be removed from somewhere this shell, any one electron from this shell, and it is stable also. Again, these electrons are held by a stronger force of attraction because this shell is comparatively near to the nucleus. Similarly, after this shell, the first shell will come, shell number 1. There is the chance of removing these electrons is next to impossible. So I hope it is clear. You can understand that by removing each successive electron, the force of attraction between the nucleus and the leftover electron will go on increasing. Okay, because nucleus, the charge over the nucleus remains the same, but the number of electrons goes on decreasing. So the energy required will be more. Again, one more point I am telling you here. If it is easy to remove an electron from an atom, the energy required will be less, and as the difficulty increases, the amount of energy will also go on increasing. Now coming to the factors on which ionization enthalpy depends. Any factor which increases the binding force between the nucleus and the electron increases the IP. I hope, children, you are maintaining your notes the way I am telling you, because I have my notes written in front of me. I am presenting this to you so that you can also similarly copy down your notes. Plus, if I speak any important point, I am expecting you all to note down that point in your notes. So the first factor, first of all, you have to understand this: any factor which is increasing the binding force, that is force of attraction between the nucleus and the electron, will increase its IP value. So the first term is atomic size. The first factor is atomic size. Now to explain you this, I am again taking an example here. This is a sodium atom, sodium metal. Now if I take here any atom with, suppose this is lithium, okay, atomic number 3. Now if you have to remove electron from this atom and from this atom, what will be an easier option? Removing an electron from sodium will be easy, or removing an electron from lithium will be easy. If you compare the energy required to remove an electron amongst these two, if you have to decide that which will lose the electron easily, what will be your answer? Obviously sodium. Why? Because it has 3 shells, and the electron that has to be removed in case of sodium is present in the third shell. So energy required will be less, because the distance, the atomic radii is bigger here in comparison to lithium. So to remove an electron from lithium will be difficult in comparison to sodium. So when the atomic radii increases, obviously the amount of energy required to remove an electron will be less. So it is always easy to remove an electron from the bigger atom than the smaller atom. So again here atomic radii factor is explained. Okay, so the ionization enthalpy decreases with increase in atomic size. Now next is nuclear charge. Nuclear charge means the magnitude of charge on the nucleus. I told you that nuclear charge corresponds to the charge present in the nucleus, which is due to proton. So as the atomic number increases, the nuclear charge value increases. It is represented by Z, capital Z. The ionization enthalpy increases with the increase in the magnitude of the nuclear charge. Because when the nuclear charge will increase, that is positive charge over the nucleus will increase, the pull that nucleus will exert over the electron will be more. Obviously, removing the electron in that case will be difficult. Now next is screening or shielding effect of the inner shell electrons. Screening effect or shielding effect. First of all, you need to understand what is the meaning of this screening or shielding effect. So screening effect is basically, children, the electrons present in the shells, these shells act as a screen or shield between the nucleus and the valence electron. Okay, that is, if you imagine your classroom, if the teacher is standing here, teaching here, the first bencher are the closest students to the teacher, and then these subsequent benches act as a screen between the students sitting here at the last bench. So because of the presence of these students which are present between the teacher and the last benches act as a screen or shield between the teacher and these students. Similarly, these electrons which are present, or these shells which are present between the nucleus and the valence shell act as a screen. They screen the valence electron and the nucleus. So if the number of electrons and the number of shells increases between the valence shell and the nucleus, then the effect of the nucleus, or the extent of force that the nucleus exerts over this valence electron, will go on decreasing. The magnitude of force of attraction will go on decreasing with the increase in screening effect. And screening effect increases due to increase in the number of shells, number of electrons present in between the nucleus and the valence shell. So obviously you can conclude, when the screening effect will increase, the IP value will go on decreasing. Okay, here it is mentioned. IP decreases with increase in screening effect. Now coming to another very important effect, that is penetration effect of the electron. Penetration effect means if you have gone through a Bauer's principle or the filling of electrons, you must have seen that in each case, when you enter into a new shell, the first electron goes to S, then P, then D, and at last it goes to F. So what happens? S is the nearest or the most penetrated subshell, that is, it is nearest to the nucleus, right? So removing an electron from a S subshell is always difficult in comparison to F, because S is present nearest to the nucleus, and the penetration goes on decreasing in this order. The most penetrated is S subshell, then P, then D, and F. Now if you have to remove an electron, I'm giving you here an example. If you have a choice of like this, 4s1 and 4p1. Now you have to decide that which subshell, because shell number you can see here is same, 4, but the subshells are different. Now you have to decide that which subshell will give away the electron with the least energy requirement. It will be P. Why? Because S is nearer to the nucleus in the fourth shell if you compare it with the P. Similarly, 4D will give away electron more easily, and 4F will give the electron in the easiest manner. So it is like this. Ionization enthalpy, the penetration effect, this is the ease of loss of electron, this is the order of ease of loss of electron, and the order of penetration effect will be this. Okay, because S is most penetrated subshell. It is the most penetrated subshell nearest to the nucleus when you're talking about the subshells of the same shell. This type of effect you will consider when you are talking about the subshells of the same shell. But if you have to remove an electron from 4s and 3p, in that case 4s will give away the electron more easily in comparison to 3p, because now the shell number has changed. This electron is in the 4th shell and this is in the 3rd shell. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. So greater is the penetration of the electron towards the nucleus of the atom, more will be the ionization enthalpy. Now coming to the symmetry of electronic configuration. Greater the symmetry of electronic configuration, more will be the ionization enthalpy. And symmetrical electronic configuration means half-filled or fully filled electronic configuration. They are more symmetrical. I have discussed this in chapter 2. Half-filled and fully filled electronic configurations have greater value of IP because of symmetrical distribution of electrons. So removing an electron or disturbing such electronic configuration is always difficult, and you need more energy to do it. Now variation of ionization enthalpy along a period. Now when you have to study the trend of ionization enthalpy along a period, then ionization enthalpy increases along a period from left to right. It increases. Why? Because if you remember the atomic radii goes on decreasing as you move from left to right, and as I told you that removing an electron from a smaller atom is always difficult in comparison to a bigger atom. So when you move left to right, the atomic radii decreases, so IP value will increase. Now variation of ionization enthalpy down a group. If you remember, atomic radii increases down a group. As I told you, in case of lithium and sodium, they are present in the same group. But sodium is present below lithium and the atomic radii of sodium is more than that of lithium. So removing an electron from sodium will be easy in comparison to lithium. So what happens? Ionization enthalpy decreases down a group. The energy required will be less. So now ionization enthalpy is done. Now I'm expecting you to revise it and solve the questions so that we can discuss it. Okay. The next periodic property I'll take up in the next session. Thank you, children.